do battle between the Cincinnati Bengals and the Buffalo Bills. Fall is in the air, and the NFL season is in full swing, and we're underway here in Week 4. This one fielded at the 5. And he'll get it up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25.
The Bengals take over 1st and 10 at their own 26-yard line.
80. 80. Recon, 132 fighter.
They'll look to throw on 1st down with Josh Rosen. And the catch made. It's Tyler Boyd. And he gets this one just shy of the 40. They'll mark him down at the 39. 12 yards that time, and a Cincinnati 1st down. Rosen on 1st and 10. Going deep downfield for Ross. It's caught at the 10. And all the way in for a Cincinnati score. John Ross with touchdown number 7 on the year. And they are able to strike first here on their opening drive. Bullock good on the extra point, and that makes the score 7-0. Now Bullock will send this one away after the touchdown. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Allen and the Bills now with a 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. So the shotgun snap to Allen. And that is caught on the right sideline, but out of bounds, says the line judge. The throw took him a little too far. It's 2nd down.
You got a young quarterback. Maybe that's just an example of a growing pain for him.
I think you're right about that, because when the game starts to move fast and it moves quickly on him, a lot of times they fall back on what they know best, their arm. He's slinging it on this one. Had a wide open target, but didn't have the proper footwork to increase his accuracy.
He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off by Mike Hilton. And the return stops at the 39-yard line.
Well, they didn't exactly show patience there, did they? Just down a score, they come out firing right away and compound things by throwing an interception. They put their defense in a really tough spot.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. After the interception, here's Rosen. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's 2nd down.
You get a tight end like this, and you know he's used to dishing out punishment, but here, he's one that has to absorb the contact, and as a result, unable to hold on to the football.
So line of scrimmage still the 39 on 2nd and 10. The former 2nd-round pick, this is Joe Mixon.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
They had great starting position to begin the drive, and now they look up at a 3rd and 5. Now Joe Mixon. Now that play is blown up, losing yardage back at the 35. A loss of a yard, and it brings up 4th.
Nice play right there to stop him behind the line, but I want to see how this defense continues to play him here in the 1st half.
Yeah, we know. You know better than I. He has the ability to take over a game, so what do?
Yeah, I think you have to make sure that you bottle him in at varying levels, because if you crowd everyone to the line of scrimmage, if he breaks through, it's nothing but room to run.
80. Hey, orbit.
They'll try and throw forward with Rosen. He's got his man, Boyd. And they're going to be set up down around the 15-yard line. A big pickup there, 20 yards as they convert on 4th.
Mike. Hug.
Mixon with a 1st down carry. And he's brought down just outside of the 10 at the 11. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up 2nd down. To throw on 2nd and 6. Rosen. And he will bring it out past the 20-yard line.
Brandon, this is why golfers do their best to never count a score in their head before the ball goes in the cup. This looked like a slam dunk for points on this drive, didn't it? Instead, they throw an interception, and they're going to come away empty.
Buffalo offense ready to go for their next drive. They had the interception last time. It led to the opening touchdown. So now 7-0 the score as they start 1st and 10. A first carry now for Kofrani Muhammad. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. The drive starting play, a good one. Give him 19.
A good run there off right tackle in an old-school NFL football. The right side of the offensive line, often known as the nasty side. The left side, usually the technical side. Kind of reminds me of the old Atlanta Falcons 2009, 2010. That's how they constructed their offensive line.
Here's a throw out wide, complete to his running back right side. And he'll get it out a couple yards shy of midfield at the 48. 4 yards on the pickup, and it'll make it 2nd down.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
4 yards on that last completion, so that sets up 2nd and 6. On the ground, this is T.J. Yeldon. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. 14 yards, and the Bills will get a new set of downs.
Tremendous blocking by the interior of the offensive line. They didn't just gash him there. They blasted a gaping hole for him to gallop through. I think if he comes back to the huddle, he better be giving him a whole lot of credit and thanking him for that much space to rumble.
So they'll come up in Bengals territory now with a 1st and 10 at the 38. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Sam Hubbard making his presence felt in the backfield. So now 20 yards to go on 2nd down after the sack. Work to be done. They'll run with Muhammad. And he'll get it down here to the 43. It's a gain of 5, but they're still deep in a hole. 15 yards still to go on 3rd down.
All right, Brandon, I know we're in the early going here, but those kind of runs, they're going to open up a world of opportunities for this offense going forward.
57. Hey, let's get in them holes. Over. Half 85.
On 3rd and long, it's Allen. Flushed out right. Now on the run, he'll throw it back deep over the middle. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete. We saw a lot of that a week ago defensively from him. AFC Defensive Player of the Week. Just always seems to be around the football.
I like your observation there. Understands the game, understands positioning, can put himself in the right spot, and then make a play on the football.
And just a single punt for him in the loss last week as he sends this one away. Out of bounds and close. The question, was it a touchback? No. They'll say it crossed out at the 2-yard line. Excellent placement. And off that bounce, Charles, I didn't know where it was going to go. It can be an inexact science as to where they place it, but they say the 2-yard line.
Yeah, I don't know how they really determined that. And let's face it, at the end of that play, one side's going to be happy, the other team's going to be unhappy. It's like, what do they do, shorten the hypotenuse? I mean, how do they figure that out? You know that stuff. You're the smart guy.
Oh, that's you, partner. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave them with a 2nd and 3.
And that run, that changes the whole mentality about the drive right there. They were starting on their own 2-yard line. They just wanted enough space to punt the football successfully. Now they're talking about putting together a drive.
On 2nd down, here's Mixon. And there is nowhere for him to cut back as he's taken down in the backfield. Officially, it will go as a 1-yard loss, and that's going to lead to a 3rd down. From the gun on 3rd down, it's Rosen. Got a man open, it's Ross. They get only 4 that time as that leads us to a 4th down.
Well, we hear so often how tackling has become almost a lost art in the NFL game. But it's so important to tackle well on these receivers, especially in a play like this one. 3rd down, they gave him the underneath stuff. You got to go up and make the tackle right away.
And how about this one now? In their own territory, a gutsy call. They're going to go for this on 4th and a yard. And now it's Rosen looking. Open man is Taylor. He's got it.
They only needed a few inches, but still some anxious moments there, but they do convert on fourth.
Mission accomplished on that throw. Slant, pick up the first down. I like how he just put it on the receiver and didn't lead him on that one.
Happened quickly. Defense, not much they could do. Rosen now already over 100 yards passing in this first quarter. It's 1st and 10. 9 yards is the pickup there, and they'll have a 2nd and 1.
A nice run here early on. It doesn't take a great play caller to realize you want to establish a guy of his caliber with runs like this early because they will pay dividends as the game progresses.
Up at the 29 now, they'll head to the line, 2nd and a yard. From the gun, a give to Mixon. Gets past one man, and they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 12 yards that time, and a Cincinnati first down. 2 first downs have him up to the 41 now for 1st and 10. Now Rosen looking to throw, escaping the pressure right. Open man is Ross, complete. A really good pickup of 28 yards. And he's top 5 in the league in terms of receiving yardage because of plays like that. What have you seen from him on film that you like so much?
Well, I'll strip away everything else and get to what we call the moment of truth. When the ball's arriving and there's a defender there, he just comes down with the ball. He competes and takes it away. Great hands, great ability to finish the catch.
Now here's a pass on first down that's knocked away and incomplete. Line of scrimmage, the 31 as they line up, 2nd and 10. They go back to the ground now with Mixon. Give him 4 on the ground there. They're now left with 3rd and 6. And they'll be in search of 6 yards here on 3rd down. This is now the 9th play of the drive. Dumps it off to Mixon. Give him 2 yards on that play, and it'll be 4th down.
One hallmark of good defenses is understanding the game, understanding positioning, and tackling immediately in the secondary after catches. I think we just saw that on display right there.
Got to him before he ever had a chance to think about turning it upfield. Well, the drive started the shadow of their own goalpost all the way back at the 2. Pretty nice job of getting downfield and at least getting 3.
Agreed on that one. A real nice job because really their goal was to get out of the shadows of those goalposts and give themselves a little bit of room to help out their defense. Instead, they got 3 points out of it.
The Bills come to the line to start their next drive. And things haven't started so well for this side. 2 drives, 2 punts.
So now you've got to start looking not just at play calling, but which guy's going to step forward and say, okay, let's get this thing done. Because within that unit of 11, sometimes one guy can make a big-time play and break through the barrier.
First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's 2nd and 12. Now a give, right side. Muhammad. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a 3rd down.
Some of these play calls, I think they're a little conservative. But you know me, because it's easy to sit up in this booth, right, and make all the calls and think I'm going to be correct. But I would like to see them open things up, because otherwise this defense is going to gang up on the run and shut them down.
So time to start going in the other direction as they come up now 3rd and long. Working out of the shotgun. Here's Allen. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And he's not going to sniff the first down here. He stopped at the 25. They stop him for only 3 that time, and that'll bring up 4th down. The Bills send the punter out as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. And he gets this away, and look at this. This is a good one. On the return is Williams. 12 yards on the return that time. And the Bengals will take over here 1st and 10. The Bengals drive about to get going. And last time they were able to churn some clock. They got the field goal, added onto their lead. But that was a drive that was so long, it should have ended in a touchdown. You know that's how they felt.
And we'll both be headed to the airport after the...
And got his man, complete. And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. A gain of 32 that time. So the line of scrimmage moves all the way across the 50 now as they come up 1st and 10. Rosen will throw. Going deep here for Taylor. And he fires one that's intercepted. Tre'Davious White with a pick.
When I was in school, math was not my strong suit, but I did learn enough to know how to play cover 3. 2 corners and a safety divide up the field in thirds. On this play, the corner didn't get fooled by anything in front of him. Kept his coverage all the way down the sideline in the deep third position and makes the interception.
They'll run on first down. Muhammad. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. He'll wind up losing a yard on the play, and it'll be 2nd and 11.
At the 21-yard line.
51's the mic. Let's go, tackle. Let's go. We got this. We got this.
They keep it on the ground. This time it's Yeldon. And he'll get about 6 up to the 27-yard line.
On a 2nd and long, it's really nice to see an offense that has enough confidence to run the football in that situation. I think that goes back to their practice and game planning. They've seen things that they've seen on tape and in previous games that led them to believe that even in a long-distance situation, they can still run the football and gain enough yardage to put themselves in a good spot on 3rd down.
Allen from the gun on 3rd down. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down. Well, earlier in the quarter when the defense was keying on the run, you said offensively they need to open things up, take some shots downfield. Didn't work there, but they did it.
Yeah, I'm not going to change my tune now. I still think it's the right play because when you take those shots downfield, you open the eyes of the defense to what you could do to them, and that may open some things up for you offensively.
And the punt over the side in the air, and the spot will be inside the 35. The Bengals drive about to get going. And 2 interceptions thrown here in this first half. You hear it, no matter the sport, they say that great athletes, they can kind of have a short-term memory, but that's easier said than done.
It is easier said than done, but I played with a guy who threw 2 interceptions in the first quarter of a really big game we were playing.
Johnny Unitas?
And no, not quite of that level and not of that age. But I was
going for the age.
I remember looking over at him, and he was smiling. And I thought, what is he smiling about? It's because he had enough confidence in himself that was a fluke. And he went out and played pretty well the rest of the day.
Now, Bengals on 3rd down. 0 for 3 to this point. They could use a conversion. This is 3rd and 7. From the gun, it's Rosen. And it's complete. Hooper. 12 yards that time and a Cincinnati first down. Rosen now closing in on a 200-yard first half through the air. It's 1st and 10. Here's Rosen to throw. He gets this in the hands of Mixon. And he'll take this into the end zone for a Bengal TD. Joe Mixon with touchdown number 7 on the year. Now the Bengals, they widen their lead. Well, he's used to running it that distance. Here he had to catch it, too, before making the run. Heck of a play for the score.
There's not many things better for an offense than a back who's a complete guy who can run it and catch it. And we just saw him complete a big-time play for a touchdown.
Now Bullock will send this one away after the touchdown. This is taken at his 4. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. Buffalo offense ready to go for their next drive. And we don't want to call this desperation time, especially in the second quarter, but you're down.
Want to.
No, but let me finish.
Okay, my bad.
You're down 3 scores already. You've done nothing offensively, nothing on the scoreboard. That's not a good combination.
I think you just called it desperation time. I think you did. But let's face it, you mentioned this to me in a break earlier in the game. The energy level hasn't been there right from the start. We've noticed that. They've got to find a way to get on their toes and start punching instead of retreating, to use a boxing analogy.
A 2nd down pass play there, but it's incomplete. Charles, he doesn't seem to be particularly in tune with his receivers, just 2 for 7 throwing the football, but he did seem really locked in before the game.
game.
Yeah, and that has to do with receivers sometimes. Sometimes the defenders knock them off their routes, and you're usually pretty precise. 1, 2, 3 cut, balls out of his hands to the receiver. In this case, might be off by a half step either way. They've got to find a way to get back in sync.
And a big loss here as he's taken down. Sam Hubbard able to drop him that time for his second sack of the evening.
I spent a lot of extra time preparing for this game watching this offensive line because they gave up 5 sacks last week in their loss. They just gave up another one now. They don't seem to be working together as a cohesive unit. Right? 4 guys might have it right, but the 5th guy is giving something up. They've got to find a way to all get on the same page.
A terrific return there. 27 yards all told. And out will come the offense as they take over. The Bengals drive about to get going, and they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
On 2nd and 9, Rosen. He'll find Taylor. That's complete. That catch good for only a yard, and it will be 3rd down. The Bengals on 3rd down. They've only converted once in 4 tries. This is 3rd and 8. Here's Rosen. Well, going deep here for Taylor. And that'll be incomplete. Well, they took their shot all right, but it comes up empty, and it's 4th down. You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning, hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you've got to let them play, and the officials are instructed. If there's contact coming from both sides, no flag. Let them fight it out.
And forces 4th down. And finding the tight end Hooper. 4th down, no problem. 19 yards that time, but now it's 1st and 10. On 1st down, it's Rosen. He gets this one to Boyd. The catch and run, good for 24 yards. And now with that completion, he's north of 200 yards here in the first half.
And he's going to break our statistician, Marvin, isn't he? Because Marvin right now is just tallying it up. Hope his hand doesn't hurt too much doing this or keeps hitting the calculator. But my goodness, what a start he is off to. By the end of this game, he could have monster numbers. He just wants to continue to be accurate.
And able to surge forward for about 5 yards down to the 10. Well, we know he's an electric runner. Earlier this half, you were wondering how they were going to bottle him up at different levels. That was your suggestion. Some mixed results.
Yeah, certainly, because we have seen him bottled up at times. We've seen him play him very well. We've also seen him pop the cork a few times and get out of there, haven't we?
We have indeed. And running room hard to come by here. He gets it down to the 8. 2 yards the gain there, and now they're left with a 3rd and about 4 for a first. And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action. A reminder coming up just a few minutes from now. We'll send you to Jonathan Coachman and our crew in Orlando. Coach will have a look back at some of the stats and scores from yesterday. And he'll take this into the end zone for a Bengal TD. Joe Mixon with his 2nd touchdown of the game, number 8 on the season. And the Bengals, they widen their lead.
Could not block that one any better. Everyone was accounted for, and a great surge by the offensive line.
Extra point up and good by Bullock. And the route is on here in this first half. Now Bullock will send this one away after the touchdown. This will be taken short. And he'll get it up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. The Bills come to the line to start their next drive. And some dangerous territory. You're already down 3 scores. A 3-and-out here or an inability to put any points up.
This one might be over by half.
Yeah, and what you also have to guard against is calling every play for a big shot downfield. You know, thinking you're going to get all these points back on one drive. You're not. And last time I looked, it's still the first half. I'm not saying you have ultimate patience here.
And he'll be taken down by the Bengal pressure. Devondre Campbell flies in to blow that play up.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
Throwing is Allen on third. Going right side here, and that's complete. And he's got the first down yardage before being taken down at midfield. Now a timeout called for by the offense, as the stoppage will come with a little under a minute to go in this first half. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. From midfield, here's Allen. And the grab by Croft. And he'll cross over out of bounds right at the 25. That's now a pair of explosive plays in succession, both north of 20 yards.
First down. 1st and 10 at the 25-yard line.
Allen now 5 out of 10, 50% throwing it. Not so hot, but he does have a first down. Now Allen sliding out of the pocket. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And they've got it inside the 10 at the 8. That's over 40 yards of movement with those last 2 plays.
As a general rule, offensive linemen like to know where their quarterback's going to be when he's setting up to throw the football. But sometimes they just have to get on the run, get on the move. He's there.
And he'll take it into the end zone for a Buffalo touchdown. T.J. Yeldon, as the first half is winding down, as they are now on the board here in the first half. And that's a critical touchdown. I don't want to be too hyperbolic or whatever, but they needed some points on the board before halftime.
They certainly did, and, you know, it's not going to erase everything that happened in the first half. Look, they got outplayed. There's no question about that. But now it gives them a chance to regroup, feel a little bit better about themselves. And how many games have we done when we've seen everything flip when another half begins? And by the way, did you say hyperbolic?
I did. Thank you.
Take over 1st and 10 at their own 27-yard line.
The Bengals drive about to get going. We're under 20 seconds to go in the half. I'm guessing the wise play here is be safe.
That is the wise play, because if you think about trying to fool them here, here's what you're facing. You're facing a loosened up secondary, playing a lot deeper than normal. So even if you run some type of misdirection, you're only going to fool them for a second or so. And guess what? They're so deep, they're really not going to be out of position. Take the knee, get to the locker room.
He finds his running back, Mixon. And this offense going to elect to burn a timeout with 5 seconds remaining in quarter number 2. They give to Mixon to try to pick it up. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. So we are at halftime here on a Monday night. As we'll send you down to Orlando, and we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach, both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. Oh, and the Bengals look like they got it back. They did. Bengal football. The Bengals drive about to get going. They built a good first half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. Now this one to his running back out of the backfield. He'll be taken down at the 48 for a pickup of 2 yards.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
And brought down, but able to get it to their 30-yard line. So 1st and 10 now from the 30. Now it's Rosen. That is caught at the 7. And he gets it all the way down inside the 10 and mark him at the 5. 25 yards that time. They'll give it to Mixon. And he's going to get him about 3 yards closer. He's down to about the 2. From the 2 now, 2nd and goal. Mixon trying to punch it in. And he is in. Touchdown, Bengals. Taking it in from 2 yards out. And the Bengals, they widen their lead.
Well, 3 scores in this game. I think that deserves some type of a broad gesture. I know in hockey, that's called a hat trick, and people throw their hats out on the ice. What about us? What can we do for this guy?
Well, if I'm his teammates, I'm buying him a little steak dinner tonight, right? At least a skirt steak, probably a filet.
Oh, you're going big. I like that.
Yeah, I mean, skirt at minimum,
skirt
filet
steak.
at maximum.
You can't give the guy a skirt steak for the first 3 times. There you go.
10 ounce, 16 ounce.
Porterhouse.
Fine. Buffalo offense ready to go for their next drive. And their halftime hole now even deeper. And they need a big drive here just to answer the first touchdown of the second half scored against them.
They were down at the half. Now, as you mentioned, they're down a little bit bigger, but no time for discouragement. Just got to get back to it, right? Put your shoulder against the boulder and start pushing and try and get back to where you were to start the half.
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. Now a give right side. Muhammad, and they're able to swarm him behind the line, and his rough night continues. That'll set him back with a loss of 3 on the play. And it'll be a 3rd and about 13.
Check the backer. Hey, alert 3. Spawns. X3, 218, chopper. 5 wide.
Here's Allen. Well, the 2 men come together, and it's incomplete. Excellent work defensively, brings up 4th down.
Even without a ton of pressure in his face, it just shows how difficult it is to pick apart his own defense. Those guys are sitting back, and they're not playing receivers as much as they're playing the eyes of the quarterback and when he delivers the ball.
At their own 47-yard line.
The Bengals drive about to get going. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
A 3-yard loss to start the drive. They'll look to make that up and then some on 2nd and 13. They'll stay on the ground. Mixon again. And he tried to bounce it outside, but they'll stop him behind the line. The 2nd down play results in a loss of 2 yards. So time to start going in the other direction as they come up now 3rd and long. Out of the gun, here's Josh Rosen. He's going to have the hook up to Ross. And he'll only get this to the 47. He needed a few more yards to pick up the first. They'll get 11, but it'll still lead to a 4th down.
Hey, wahoo!
They'll try and throw for it with Rosen. And my goodness, this is incomplete. Tre'Davious White, the LSU man, there to knock it away that time. So the magic runs out, so to speak. They were 3 for 3 on 4th down conversions, now 3 for 4.
So the defense finally gets to exhale.
Yeah.
Because they were wondering, 3 for 3 getting converted on 4th down. That percentage is way high. They hadn't stopped them at all. Finally, they get a stop. They can get to the sidelines now and rest a little bit.
Eluding the pressure, and a big loss here as he's taken down. Carl Lawson with a little how do you do as he gets in there for the sack. A rough couple of weeks for the man under center. 5 sacks last week, 4 now this week. Do you try to design some quicker developing plays if you're an offensive coordinator?
I think you do that. I think you also change his launch point at times. In other words, move your pocket to the right, to the left, roll him out, bootleg him. Do some different things so they can't just rely on the fact that he's going to take 3 to 5 steps back in the pocket and line up and throw the football.
Yeah, current formula is not working right now. He's going deep for Brown. No, he almost had it. Already with 1 interception, just missing his second there. Well, this secondary has done such a good job of frustrating these receivers tonight. Another example right there on the deep ball.
Sometimes when the sun goes down and it's just the bright lights in the stadium, there's a little extra spring in their step, doesn't it? And that's what we're seeing from the defenders. Doesn't matter with his man, their zone, deep ball, short ball. That was a deep one there. They're making plays on the football, contesting everything.
And now a shot taken on 3rd down, but it's going to wind up incomplete.
And we're into the second half now, and this is an offense that continues to struggle to sustain a drive.
Looks like they're just totally out of sync, whether they're running the ball, passing the ball like we saw there. I don't know. The rhythm seems off. That's a 43-yard punt, aided as well by a loss on the return. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. The Bengals drive about to get going. And last time they were very fortunate, this offense. They went for it on 4, turned it over in their own territory. But the other guys held up. They didn't give up any points.
So how about the guy with the number 1 headset on the sidelines, the head coach? That was planned going into it, not necessarily to not get the first down or to have the defense have to hold up.
But he trusted his defense.
Trusted his defense very much, and I think that's how he's going to play this game. Go for it, be aggressive, because I've got the wild bunch backing me up over here on my own sideline.
And we'll see what his offense can do. He gets them a little over half of what they needed. Now they're looking at a 3rd and 5. From the gun on 3rd down, it's Rosen. Open man is Taylor. He's got it. And he'll get this one way up just shy of the 45-yard line. A big 3rd down pickup of 20 yards. Rosen now 6 for 6 since coming back out of the locker room. It's 1st and 10. Had a bit of a lane there, took advantage of it. Give them 7 there on the 1st down carry. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3. Off the play fake, here's Rosen. His throw incomplete. Tremaine Edmonds, the linebacker, able to break that one up. This defense tried to do its part, active hands on that play, but their offense hasn't given them much to work with.
So they're not going to worry about it. On their side of the ball, all they're concerned about, can they create some scoring opportunities and help out that offense?
This is Mixon. And he's going to have a 1st down as he's brought down at the 44-yard line. They're able to convert with a gain of 4.
Let's go.
First down, Cincinnati.
Go, go, go.
2 yards on the carry there. It'll be 2nd down.
In my book, that's running the ball well, but with intelligence. How about him keeping the clock moving, staying in bounds?
Yeah, even though it's the 3rd quarter, you're thinking ahead, aren't you? This is where your running game can really help you with a lead in the second half.
I agree totally. It's not just end-of-the-half situations that you worry about the clock. It's throughout the game. And with a lead, stay in bounds. Make them fight harder to try and catch you.
Throwing on 2nd and 8. Rosen. Going for the deep ball. And this is going to wind up incomplete. The coverage there too strong on the deep ball, and now they face a 3rd down. 8th play of the drive forthcoming, and they need 8 yards on 3rd down. From the shotgun, it's Rosen. He's got his tight end on the corner route. It's complete.
Let's go. Do it.
And on that last play there, he's over 400 yards passing now.
You know what that generally means?
Success.
Yeah, that, and it means you really didn't miss opportunities. Usually very accurate. The ball.
And that is caught. He's got it for a Bengal touchdown. C.J. Uzomah his first touchdown on the year as his guys continue to pour it on. Bullock good on the extra point, and that will extend this big lead. Now Bullock will send this one away after the touchdown. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Bills come to the line to start their next drive. And here we are almost through 3 quarters of play, and this passing game still has not really found any kind of rhythm.
Put it mildly, because they're not even over 100 yards yet. And in today's NFL, where it's a pass-first league, that is quite surprising. Not many teams patient enough to stick with the run. Everybody wants to advance the ball through the air. They've got to get their timing back.
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. Out of the pistol, it's Yeldon. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. 11 yards and a Buffalo first down. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Now T.J. Yeldon. And he will lose yardage back to the 34-yard line. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
It's a loss of a yard.
Back now in Buffalo. And this is a blowout so far as we get set for the 4th quarter. A very one-sided affair.
Check nickel, nickel, nickel. Slam, slam.
On 2nd and 11 now. Allen. Oh, Allen cannot get away, and down he goes.
That right now, that's a defeated team out there. I think you can see it totally in their body language.
Hands on hips, heads low. It's just been a struggle from the start.
Yeah, this team has been thoroughly beaten right from the word go.
So after the sack, Allen and the Bills with work to do on 3rd and long. Allen now looks to throw. Looking deep downfield. But when this ball's tipped and intercepted. Picked off at the 23. And he will return this one to the 30-yard line.
Well, this defensive pressure has been constant all game long. The pass rush, the coverage, they've all been excellent, and now they'll tack on an interception here as this one continues to slip just further and further out of hand.
Here's Joe Mixon as they start on the ground. A big play there for Cincinnati. 44 yards on the ground.
Do my eyes deceive me, or is he getting stronger as this game moves along?
Burst seems just as good here in the 4th as it was way back in the 1st, doesn't it?
I do believe someone put a lot of time in the offseason and continues to condition during the season in order to continue to carry the ball at this rate.
The defense showing some anger after giving up the big play. This time they'll lose 1 or 2. On 2nd and 11 now. Rosen. And that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on 3rd down.
Brandon, it looked like he had his hands on it for a moment, but let's face it, that was going to be a tough catch all the way because of the presence of the defense right there as he was trying to haul it in.
Yeah, nice job to force the incompletion. And that's not going to get it done. He'll come up well short of the 1st at about the 21.
That's a really good job right there. Just kept stringing that play out, pushing further and further towards the sideline. Really good fundamentals by that defense.
He was trying to put his foot in the ground and turn upfield. He just couldn't.
No, they really had a picket fence in front of him. No room to find to get upfield.
Hey, Charlie.
They're going on 4th down. Rosen. Pressure applied, and he's going to be taken down. They sack him back at the 33-yard line. The inside linebacker, Danny Trevathan, gets the sack. Buffalo offense ready to go for their next drive. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
I think normally we would talk about this more with basketball players and football players, but let's adopt it in this case. He's a stat sheet stuffer.
Had the interception earlier, now a sack. He just needs a touchdown for the trifecta.
That's about all he needs, and he's going to go for it.
Pass protection has been a problem all night long as they come up facing second and a bundle. Allen going to throw. He's got the connection to Cole Beasley.
The goal for any offense versus his own defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. The Bills on third down. Just one conversion in 8 tries. Not good. Here it's 3rd and 2. Throwing now is Allen. That one complete to Yeldon. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. 11 yards and a Buffalo first down. Allen now a perfect 8 for 8 to start the second half. Not bad. 1st and 10. They'll run with Yeldon. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. 11 yards and a Buffalo first down.
We'll definitely see some open running lanes, and he's taking advantage of it right now, but that shouldn't be a surprise. Defense has the lead. They're playing for the pass first.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38.
61, matchbox lights. He's not going to get me.
And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's 2nd down. Another incompletion. You know, it's a wonder he's still moving around back there the number of times he's been sacked.
Yeah, he's staying out there, isn't he? You don't think about it much in a game like this, but he's showing incredible leadership. Still competing, still fighting, not taking himself out of a ball game that appears lost. And that's the kind of run that gets everyone excited on offense. And, you know, oftentimes the guys who carry the ball are the ones in the huddle doing the chirping. Right now, I think it's the offensive line telling them, run it again. We are right there about to break a big one.
They'll try to run for it with Yeldon. And that one going nowhere from the start as he's met in the backfield and goes backwards. That'll make it 4th down after a loss of 1.
You don't want no problem from me.
They're already slim hopes are going to ride on this one. They'll go on 4th down.
Check 26. Kill. Hey, turn it up. Alert. Back.
Allen will look to throw for it on 4th. And for a 3rd time tonight, he's intercepted. Picked off by Ryan Shazier. The 40. The 20. 10. And he will score. Touchdown, Cincinnati. That's the story of the game. They've been suffocating all game long on defense. They were suffocating there again in a big way.
And they've done it not just by out-athleting them, which is often the case, but by being able to adjust to anything they tried to throw at them and beating them to the punch each and every time. This was a defense that was well prepared.
And the Bills are going to recover, and that will get out of bounds. So that's definitely going to put a major crimp in any comeback plans they may have had.
Mike 50. Alert. Middle. 51 the Mike, boys.
Now Allen to try again after the pick 6. He's going to rifle one deep left side. And all the way home for a Bills touchdown. A big play there. His 4th touchdown on the year. And the Bills claw one back.
That's a whole lot of of points still to be down. But congratulations, they're still fighting, and they scored another touchdown.
My old high school coach used to say, Charles, he said, sometimes you win, sometimes you lose, and sometimes you wish you never had showed up.
Could have saved the gas money, the hotel, what have you, huh?
And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Bengals drive about to get going. And this game comfortably in hand. The scoreboard speaks for itself, but you still got your starting quarterback out there. When do you go to the backup, let him get some time?
And that's one of the great questions in the NFL, Brandon, because I'm just going to tell you, in the 2015 season, I commentated on 3 games in a row that were blowouts. And in none of them did the starting quarterback ever come out of the game for the team that had a big lead. And in each instance, I asked the coaches later on, why didn't you do that? And they all looked at me and said, just don't really do that in the NFL. You know, these guys play, and we just play them all the way through. Now, in certain situations, they will take them out, but for the most part, they're not as worried and concerned about getting them out of the game. And that's always puzzled me a little bit.
He gets this into the hands of Taylor. They'll get 11, but still a little short. 4th down. The offense staying out. They're going to go on 4th and 2. Here's Rosen to throw. And it's complete. Hooper. They're able to keep the drive alive. 7 yards that time, and the decision to go for it proves to be a good one. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So the Bengals in possession of the football here as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. Now a run on 1st down is not going to get off the ground as they will get him behind the line of scrimmage for a loss of 3. They'll wind up losing 3 yards here. And that'll make this a 2nd and 13.
Whoa, whoa, whoa. 59, Mike. Check, 59. Check right.
Again, it's Mixon. And for one of the first times all night, he is going to go nowhere as they bury him behind the line. It's a loss of 2, now 3rd down. Finally, defensively, they have a little clip to show positive for actually stopping him running the football.
It's been a really long night for them, hasn't it? So they got a little bit of a win there, but let's face it, the vision that he's had running the football has carried his feet to the open spaces and to big yardage all night long.
On 3rd down, Mixon. And unable to get downhill there, so he'll take this up to about the 37. Call it a gain of 3, and it'll bring up 4th down.
If you're looking for glory, looking to get your name in the headlines, you do not want to play nose tackle. But how about what we just saw there? The ability to hold people up, take on extra blocks, and actually slip them and make a tackle on that play. That's big time.
Again, the offense will stay out there. They've converted once on this drive. What can they do here on 4th down?
Check 24, check 24. 49, 49 to Mike, 49 to Mike. Get him, get him, get him.
They'll run with Mixon. And he won't get there. They stop him a few yards short of the line to gain. A big offensive explosion helped leading them to victory. And the defensive guys, they're just saying, hey, put those points up every week. We'll just keep winning.
They will gratefully accept them, won't they? It makes their job that much easier when they're scoring that many points. Allows them to play with a totally different style and a different flow.
So for the Bengals, hey, they finish a perfect month of September as they move to 4-0 on the new campaign. And they will head back home next week. Meanwhile, for Buffalo, they'll drop down to 1-3, and they'll get a chance to...
just wanna be heard. For your mom to your pop to the beat to the birds, my cut right off on the curb like I'm Barry Sanders. Chains on and the diamonds dancing. Game on, so it's time to go. When the rain starts, I'ma let you know. Name a squad that is better though than my whole team. We a pot of gold. I'm a dog. I'ma need a bone for my whole team. I'ma let it go like yeah. And it feel like yeah. All day like yeah. All night like yeah. Whole squad like what? And it feel like yeah. All day like yeah. All night like what? Whole squad like yeah. And it feel like yeah. All day like yeah. All night like yeah. Whole squad like yeah. And it feel like yeah. All day like yeah. All night like yeah. You don't want problems. You don't want smoke, dog. You don't want problems. Yeah, you don't want problems. You don't want smoke, dog. You don't want problems. Yeah, you don't want problems. You don't want smoke, dog. You don't want problems. No, I said you don't want problems. You don't want smoke, dog. You don't want. I put so my frustration, I was waiting to shine. My father taught me don't be soft, so now I'm taking what's mine. I define myself as ambitious, young, black, and gifted. Master P, my masterpiece. That mean I don't got no limits. Bout it, I doubt it. My homies know you ain't ratted. We break you down like a pound. I got it, dog pounders surround me. I'm corrupted, flow cold and it's rugged, bumpy. What is up? I'm ready for war. You got to love it like black, yeah. And it feel like yeah. All day like yeah. All night like yeah. Whole squad like what? And it feel like yeah. All day like yeah. All night like what? Whole squad like yeah. And it feel like yeah. All day like yeah. All night like yeah. Whole squad like yeah. And it feel like yeah. All day like yeah. All night like yeah. You don't want problems. You don't want smoke, dog. You don't want problems. Yeah, you don't want problems. You don't want smoke, dog. You don't want problems. Yeah, you don't want problems. You don't want smoke, dog. You don't want problems. No, I said you don't want problems. You don't want smoke, dog. You don't want.
Honey, I dash, got it on smash, foot on the gas. I will not crash, they will not stop me. Tenfold, copy, end zone, watch me celebrate. I'm cocky, I do my dance, jump in the stands. No man, man, oh deal with the hands. Thought he could guard me, I ruin they plans. I do what I want, they do what they can. Got it on smash, foot on the gas. I will not crash, honey, y'all dash, 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 yeah. They can't catch up cause they lacking the stamina. Way too advanced to be playing with amateurs. Stay on attack when they tackle like damager. They react and play it back on the camera. Hot boy, just consider me flammable. Sure shot, I got all the intangibles. Need a leash, I'm a beast, I'm an animal. Heat the competition up like a Hannibal. Know the game like I wrote up the manual. I do weekly what you do on the annual. MVP, that decision unanimous. Big dials, I don't think they can handle it. Battlefield, it's just me and my warriors. Guaranteed we emerging victorious. Years, blood, sweat, tears, it's glorious. I remember when they always ignoring us. Dash, got it on smash, foot on the gas. I will not crash, they will not stop me. Tenfold, copy, end zone, watch me celebrate. I'm cocky, I do my dance, jump in the stands. No man, man, oh deal with the hands. Thought he could guard me, I ruin they plans. I do what I want, they do what they can. Got it on smash, foot on the gas. I will not crash, honey, y'all dash, honey, y'all dash, honey, y'all dash, honey, y'all dash, honey, y'all dash. They slept on the team that they owe me. I need a ring and a trophy. I say I'm the best cause I am. It's no need in keeping it low-key. I can carve up the D like a turkey or run straight through the D like a train. This year we ain't taking no losses. It's all about making the game. I hear a lot of trash talk. He call himself making a name. I put on the Jets. The coach will regret even letting them stay in the game. Team morale took a tumble. Next time be humble. I'm the lion in the jungle. You just trying not to fumble. Rumble, young man, rumble. Never slip nor stumble. I take off, poof, magic. Now watch me juke through the traffic. Footwork fantastic. Dominating every facet. Treat the pocket like plastic. Here come the blitz, pass it. Got it on smash. Put on the gas. I will not crash. 100-yard dash. 100-yard dash. 100-yard dash. 100-yard dash. 100-yard dash.
Y'all already know what time it is, huh? Playing skills, you did, huh? Playing skills. Ice on the wrist, car on the wrist, hole on the wrist, watch out flip, watch out whip, I'm in the whip, hole in the wrist, I never switch, ice on the wrist, car on the wrist, hole in the wrist, watch out whip, I'm in the whip, hole in the wrist, I never switch. I get the money, but I never switch. You won't get it. You know they came from the bottom and now we is lit. You was lit. I gotta get it, I gotta get it. You hate. You know I'm icy in Vegas. Just for the that haters. I make a lot of new money. When it's not saving. You be liking my flavor. I think it's cause.